When most people think of things to do in McLean, usually they think of Tysons Corner Center. But today we'll talk about everything else there is to do in McLean proper. We'll talk about shopping sprees, eating great food, and a few things you may not know about the area, like a museum you can't visit, mini golf in the air, and a unique park you won't find anywhere else. Take this video as a guide to having fun in McLean, and I want to remind you about our Moving to McLean playlist to teach you everything you need to know about the area. Before we begin, I'm Abraham Walker with Ask A Walker, your Northern Virginia real estate agent. On this channel, we do all the research so you don't have to. When you're ready to start your real estate journey, whether that's buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate, click the link in the description to fill out your perfect home questionnaire. After you complete the form, we'll schedule a time to meet online via Zoom to answer any and all of your real estate questions. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for future videos about relocating to the Northern Virginia area. Let's dive right in. I know that we talked about this a few seconds ago, but McLean really is known for its retail therapy scene. Tysons Corner Center and Tyson's Galleria draw people from all over Northern Virginia just for a high-end shopping experience. Outside the Tyson area, though, is another side of McLean, a slower paced one, and it's pretty much like a quiet DC suburb. There are lots of small businesses here, from antique stores to gift shops, boutiques to jewelry stores, and more. The downtown area is where they're all at, so it's pretty easy to explore that side of the area. Despite the activity here, McLean isn't a hip place. Now, there is a plan to revitalize McLean's downtown to make it similar or more like Reston Town Center, but on a smaller scale. This is going to be something fun to look forward to, and we'll keep reporting about it on our channel. It's going to turn McLean around just slightly. Despite that, I still think local restaurants will continue to dominate the culinary scene here, like what you'll find right now. Some of the local favorites have been featured in the Northern Virginia Magazine or Washingtonian's 100 Very Best Restaurants list, like a Moose restaurant, which I had the pleasure of going to visit just a couple of days ago. I had the chicken skewers with this delicious bread that they prepare in-house, and it was quite delicious. I highly recommend it. To me, though, the face of McLean's mom and pop restaurant scene is McLean Family Restaurant, a former deli that turned into a staple diner serving residents since 1969. Now, while some people just want to pick a spot to eat at and leave, others like to hang out a little bit. If you're the latter, there's a cool place here called Tyson's Beer Garden. As you can expect, this beer garden has a curated and wide selection of beers, whether you want traditional German beers or local beers. And you've also got restaurant concepts in the area. Just choose between sushi, Parisian food, or waffles and desserts. What you may not expect, though, is that this is a very dog-friendly spot. You can take your furry friends here and let them roam around the dog park section. Another beer garden in McLean takes your experience to greater heights, literally. The Star Hill Beer Garden is part of the Perch at the Capital One Center. You'll be able to try various beers, play the 18-hole mini golf section, enjoy the retro food trucks and the Rum Roost Bar. There's a dog park, there's porch swings, giant chess boards, and more, while getting amazing views of Tyson's from the 11th floor. To get ready for this video, I actually visited the Perch a couple days ago, and I want to make sure you know parking here can be quite expensive if you park in the wrong parking garage. There is a parking garage that's tied to the hotel, and you will pay $30 no matter how long you stay, okay? So park in the other side. Learn from my mistake. There's a second garage not tied to the hotel. So if you do go visit the Perch and you can't beat your friends at golf, maybe you'd be better at bowling. Bolero is a bowling alley conveniently located on the first floor of Tyson's Galleria. There's also an arcade here where you can play old school games like Mario Kart and Jurassic Park. There's a sports bar where you can watch games on an HD screen with craft beer, wine, or signature cocktails in hand. You could play beer pong and cornhole here as well. Not to mention the looks are cool with lots of color, backlights, huge video walls, and all that jazz. Okay, sometimes exploring McLean itself is fun because you don't know what you'll run into. Have you seen a baseball field right under a metro track? That's exactly what you'll find at Capital One Park, where there's a baseball game every day during the summer. Have you ever heard of a museum that you can't visit? That's the CIA Museum, home to a vast collection of declassified weapons, documents, and other cool stuff. Speaking of the CIA, did you know there's a sculpture there that has puzzled cryptographers for almost 30 years. This sculpture is called the Cryptos, and if you love cracking codes, you might want to decode the fourth passage. Now, before you try to go to the CIA museum and get yourself arrested, you're not going to be able to get on campus. This is a secure location. The museum is really only for CIA agents or people who are becoming CIA agents, for them to learn about the organization. It's not open to the public and never will. Lastly, did you know that Tyson is home to some unusual buildings? Tycoon Towers at 8000 Towers Center Drive is affectionately called the shopping bag building just for how it looks. Meanwhile, the Tycoon office building at 2070 Chainbridge Road was once voted as the ugliest building in the state by residents. Both buildings are still talked about decades after they were built, and they're still visited by people for selfies. All of the things I've mentioned so far aren't really the type of things you do regularly. And if that's what you're looking for, the fitness center in town will keep you busy a few times a week. You've got McLean Racket and Health Club and Chesterbrook Swim and Tennis Club, to name a few. If you like the Equinox brand, there is a location right on the McLean-Vienna border for you to go to as well. But if you're not sure what you want to do yet, head to McLean Community Center, which is like a one-stop shop for fun. They offer yoga, cardio, Tai Chi classes, and more. And if you've got kids, they also have kids and teen camps here for the summer break. And the old Firehouse Center here focuses on fun for teens, Friday night activities, after-school programs, and more. From the start of this video up to this point, we've talked about McLean's urban amenities. A less appreciated perk here, though, is its parks. And if you bring up a map of the area, McLean has a pretty good advantage for outdoor enthusiasts with its acres of green spaces. Historically, residents have fought tooth and nail to preserve one of these. They chose to raise their taxes just to pay for and save the land from becoming a residential area. And that land in question is now one of the few nature preserves under Fairfax County Park Authority System's Scott-run Nature Preserve. This preserve is home to some of the rarest biological ecosystems in the mid-Atlantic. Even the remains of a cabin owned by the original owner, Edward D. Burling, still stand in the preserve today. There's not much to see there beside a stone chimney, but it's still a symbol of civic duty. And visiting it is one of the more off the beaten path things you can do in McLean. There are several other parks like Turkey Run Park dotted around the area. So if you need a change of scenery, it won't be that hard. Now, one of the most popular parks in McLean isn't a nature park, it's a kids park. Clemmy John Tree Park's tagline is where every child can play. And that's because this unique playground is designed so kids who are physically able and challenged can play. The park has signage in Braille and sign language and features wheelchair-friendly swings, just to name a few. So there you have it. McLean offers a ton of things to do no matter what you like. If you still want to know more about the area, check out our other videos on our McLean playlist right here. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.